Hello guys. A big welcome to you this evening, this afternoon, this morning, depending on where you are watching us from. Guys, I am humbled, I'm honored, I'm inspired today to be hosting a young lady from Zimbabwe, a young lady from Africa whose journey is inspiring, exciting, and something that you can admire. And when you talk to her, then you begin to understand some of the sacrifices, some of the hard work that people put into their life and their journey. So I thought, well, I will invite her here and we can hear from her. Guys, a big welcome to you all and a big shout out to you all for your support, for your, your love for information, your love for inspiration, your love for encouragement. And the only thing I can do is that I pray and hope and wish you all the best in all that you do. And I wish you all success. And I cannot wait to share each and every one of yours journey. Guys, today we will be joined by a young lady, an inspirational young lady. She's got Miss Rachel. She's a nurse. She's a lot of things. She's a nurse. She's a wife. She's a mom. So, guys, I'm so excited. She's everything that you can think of. She's a wife. She's a nurse, and yeah. So she's Zimbabwean. That's why I thought, well, I'll come here and I'll share with all of you guys. So tag your friends. Share this live, share this video with so many groups. We want information to reach everyone, guys. While we wait for our guest to come on here so that I can invite her. Miss Rachel, if you can actually come in and then I'll aid you. Guys, we are going to continue to do this because a lot of you are reaching out to us and saying, Flo, we want to explore different journeys. So we've got a lot of things lined up. We've got someone from Germany, we've got someone from the US, we've got someone from Canada, we've got someone from Australia, we've got someone from New Zealand as well. So we keep on. I cannot even start to mention people in the UK that I would love to have on this platform, that I would love to bring on this platform, and we can continue to share and we can continue to inspire one another. Guys, our guest for today, Miss Rachel, thanks so much. I've just sent you an invite. If you can join us, then we can get it kicking and rolling. Just type in the comments, guys. Just type.
Hello.
Hey, you all right, Rachel?
I'm good, thanks. And yourself?
I'm all right. Thank you so much for joining us. And, I'm so excited. I'm honored to be having you on this platform today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Guys, today we've got Rachel Denere. She's Zimbabwean. She's a nurse in the UK. Hey, Jenny, guys, you'll hear for yourself. I don't want to preempt everything, but I'm so honored. I'm so excited. Continue tagging your friends. Continue. I would love for you guys to go and follow Rachel. If you're on this platform, go and follow Rachel Denere on Facebook so that you can continue to get insight into some of the things that she does, into some of the work that she does behind the scenes. So, Rachel, I'd like for you to introduce yourself in your own capacity, your professional self, and a bit of your personal self, so that people can have an idea of who you are. And if you are, I don't know if you allow me to say how old you are, because I mean, I'm chuffed.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm really chuffed. I don't know if you allow me to say how old you are, so that people can understand why I'm so chuffed, because your journey has just been amazing. You've done a lot of things in a short space of time, things that even some of us haven't really done. So you allow me to,
Okay.
guys, Rachel, she's only 30. So bear in mind, she's only 30. So I want you to understand. So Rachel, I'll give it to you to introduce yourself, who you are professionally and who you are personally.
All right. Thank you so much for the warm introduction. So my name is Rachel Denere. Oh, white people, English people, they call me Rachel Den here. So whichever way you prefer. Like Florence has already said, I'm 30 years old and I live somewhere in the England. Um, I'm a registered nurse for 2 years now, and I qualified and trained in Poland in 2022, and then I moved to UK the same year. Um, I work in a hospital within the NHS, and I like I'm mainly based in the complex care of the elderly, but I've also had opportunities to work in different environments, like different wards, you name it, complex care, respiratory ward, cardiac ward, emergency department,
Wow.
AMU. I've been everywhere literally in a space of 2 years. So yeah, that's basically a brief introduction of myself.
And guys, Rachel, she's married, happily married
Yeah,
to my family.
yeah, I'm happily
So,
married.
Rachel, you told me when we were talking, you told me that before you went to Poland, you had studied something else in Zimbabwe. Was that a degree or a diploma? I want people to hear full information because a lot of people go like, well, I did something else. Is it worth it for me to transition into something else now? I did my work, but what is it that you studied when you were in Zimbabwe before going to Poland?
Okay. I actually have 2 degrees with the University of Zimbabwe. So my first degree was Bachelor of Arts, and I was majoring in economic history, and Chinese. And then I then went back for another year, and I was doing economic history, like a special honors. So that is what I did with the University of Zimbabwe before I transitioned to nursing.
Wow. Oh, wow. I'm honored. I'm honored. You know, I myself, I don't have a degree. And when I do speak to people that have been to uni and have a degree, I just feel inspired. I just feel like there's a certain level of, I don't know, there's something about you guys, something's really, really special. And I love that about you. Rachel, what made you decide I am going to go to Poland, start something all over again, a whole new degree all over again, and why nursing?
Okay. Okay, that's actually a brilliant question. There were actually quite a lot of reasons why I decided to transition into nursing. But first of all, because I just did a general degree and I didn't have a profession. So I was just thinking to myself, what is this degree going to bring on the table? I know a couple of friends, they went into the education route, they went for masters, they went for PhD. Like my husband, we went to the same school. We did start the same, and then he went into do masters, and then I went into nursing. So at that point, I was thinking maybe I can get that opportunity and one day become a lecturer. But I realized that that wasn't really my passion. And while at least I was in the middle of like trying to think which route I was going to take, an opportunity came to go to Poland. And at that point, I was about 25. It was a
Wow.
it was a bit disheartening that like I'm going to start all over, like going to school for a degree with 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. But I told myself what I want is a profession. And I actually went for nursing, and it's been blissful.
Rachel, you said, well, you were 25 and you were going to go into uni with 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds. Do you know how old I am? I'm now in like my mid 30s and I'm still going to go for that degree. That's the plan. That's the goal. That's what I want for myself. And I, I will not think about age. And as you know, now that we work with,
Yeah.
for white people, age is nothing. They could look 60. They
Yeah.
could be 60 and still look 30.
Mm.
So, yeah. And so, Rachel, tell me something. There's something people want to know. People want to know uh, how can they? I know that there's a lot of questions that are going to be coming. Guys, put the questions in the comments, and then I'll read through the comments. And if we can answer some of the questions, we will. Rachel, there you are. You're faced with a situation where things are not so well in Zimbabwe, especially considering what you'd specialized in or what you'd gone to school for. And then you made a decision. You were going to go to Poland, right?
Mm.
Can you just briefly tell us what were some of the requirements for somebody to apply for a degree in Poland? And if you don't mind, at least just mention the university that you went to.
Okay. I went to a university called sorry, the Polish name is coming up front, but it's called Paul in Lublin. Um, the requirements at that time, they didn't require A level at that time when I did apply. They only wanted five O levels, including math and English. But then the requirements changed over time. Now they wanted A level as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was
Okay.
5 O levels, including maths and English.
So just, well, obviously, if you're gonna go into nursing, and this is general knowledge, you need to have maths, you need to have English, whether you're in the UK or you're wherever. I think that's the bare minimum. Of
Yeah.
course, I think with all that's going on with Poland and a lot of people wanting to go to Poland, people are flooding Poland, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously they've upped the requirements just as a way of, screening
Yeah.
people. So yeah, like what Rachel has said, the requirements have actually gone up. People now are required to have A level if you want to go into nursing in Poland. That's brilliant. Rachel, I have a question for you.
Okay.
How, obviously you said you needed O level and then you applied. Did you use an agent or you did this by yourself? People want to know.
Sorry, come again.
Did you use an agent when you were applying,
Okay.
to Poland, uni and stuff? Did you use an agent?
Yes, I did use an agent, but that agent was a student at that time, so she was hustling, And then she's like, back to your question, you asked how I found out about the opportunity to go to Poland. So there's this lovely lady. She was a student, and then she was sort of like working as an agent recruiting for the university that I went to. So she posted in a group. I think it's a group of ladies in Australia, and then my sister, she saw the post and then she's like, "Oh, are you interested in this?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, I could try." So I then spoke to the lady and she gave me assurance because she was already in Poland at that time. So she explained everything to me. Like she walked me through the journey, how living in Poland is, and what to expect, and what were the prospects of the future. So yeah, I did use an agent, but she was a student as well.
Absolutely amazing. Guys, I think after this live, still, we're going to type in some of the information that we're talking about. Agents, we're going to put links for people. And guys, disclaimer, do your due diligence. When we do put these links in the comments, do your due diligence. Don't come back here and say Flo recommended or Rachel recommended, because we're just sharing. You do due diligence and then you decide if it's for you or not. So Rachel, you got your admission, you got linked by this lovely lady. We're going to put her in the comments and then you guys can go and follow her as well, go and talk to her as well, and find out for yourself. So Rachel, tell me something. People want to know. I've been hearing, well, now you need to book for your appointment. Visa appointments are taking long and everything. How was the visa process for Poland? Did you teach in Zimbabwe? Did you have to go to South Africa? How was it like? Can you give us a rundown to say, okay, after my admission, after payments and stuff, the visa process?
Okay. At that time, the visa process was quite flexible and getting visa dates was very easy, if I should say, at that time, which is different from now because the embassy started receiving a volume of people wanting to apply for the visa. So they ended up tightening up the appointments date and stuff. So yeah, I did travel to South Africa for the visa appointment, and like I said, at that time it wasn't difficult. You just have to go online, you select the date which is suitable for you, and then you're ready to go.
So, guys, if you are looking into trying Poland, so that's the process, guys. Basically, we're just trying to get an idea of what the process is like. So, you actually have to apply to uni first. Correct me if I'm wrong, right now. So, somebody has to apply to uni first,
Mm-hmm.
then you get accepted. Some people do it on their own, and some people do use agents. And apparently, Polish agents, people that are doing this for Poland, are quite it's yielding results, to be honest. Of course you pay for it, but you yield results. So after applying, you get your admission, and then do you pay the fees before or after your visa? What's the process like?
Okay. Basically, the information that I'm just gonna be talking about today regarding the visa process and everything is like from the time we did. Things have
Yeah,
changed over time,
I
and I've not
know.
actually done the research to see like what's going on at the moment. But at that time, after getting accepted by the university, you had to pay the full school fees for the whole year. You then had to look for accommodation, and then you pay for the accommodation as well. And then, so the proof of payment from the university and then from the accommodation, you would need to take them with you for your visa appointment to show that you've paid school fees and you have a place where you're going to get to when you arrive in Poland.
I think they're still doing that from what I heard, because I've spoken to people. I've spoken to other people. No wonder why I thought I'll bring Rachel on this platform and that you can explain and then people can get insight. I think this happens with almost nearly every university abroad. You're required to pay because they want to know if you'll be able to pay throughout your cost. They don't want you to be destitute wherever you go to a country and then you have got no accommodation. So those are some of the paperwork that you need to prepare. And also, I think it gives you peace of mind when you know you've actually paid your fees for maybe the whole year or maybe for a few semesters. Then you're not desperate round about the time that you get there. So I think it's still going on like this. Guys, put it in the comments if you've got any questions. So how long did you have to wait for your visa, Rachel?
I only waited for 7 days, I think. It was that fast at that time.
I
Yeah.
think I think even now, once you get your dates, because I think what's difficult at the minute is for you to get dates at the Polish embassy in South Africa. It's actually a nightmare. But I don't know. Okay, I know you went to school with other Zimbabweans and other nationalities.
Yeah.
Do we have another Polish embassy in Africa where people can actually say, okay, I'm not doing Pretoria, but I would rather go to another country, maybe where there are dates at that point in time?
Yes, there is actually, I think in Tanzania,
Okay.
because I had a friend with a Malawian passport and then she wasn't accepted at the South African embassy. So because she had a Malawian passport, but she's Zimbabwean, so she had to go to Tanzania. So I don't know
Oh, so I
the criteria they use in Tanzania or who is eligible to go to Tanzania or South Africa. I don't know. But for her, because the South African embassy didn't want to apply with the South African embassy because of her passport.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm just thinking a lot of people at the moment are asking how best can we want to go abroad, and apparently we want to be honest. We want to be honest as we continue to encourage one another to say Poland. It looks like it's another gateway to the diaspora, to where you want to be. It's a stepping stone, and a lot of people are using it. So it would be worth noting if somebody can try a different embassy altogether and see if they can get this. I'll continue to do the research and I'll share with people here. So, Rachel, tell us, uh, after getting your visa and everything, obviously, I think you're prepared for flights and stuff. And I would want to ask a question about when you got to Poland and your course in nursing. Is there any point in time or during your course where you've had to learn Polish, or where you felt, obviously, because I live in Poland, definitely language is quite important. Do you have any courses that you had to do in Polish, or I don't know?
Yes, we had to do Polish for 2 years. So we actually had like classes of Polish, intense Polish classes. And for people who were actually serious, because for me, there was a bit of a challenge because I did Chinese at the University of Zimbabwe and now I had to do Polish. So most of the times when I'm in the Polish lesson, I'm just thinking I'm in the Chinese class. So I was just studying. So because I knew I wasn't going to stay in Poland anyway. So I was just learning Polish for the sake of learning because I had to do it. So I had to do it. Of course, I was studying, but for the people who were like serious with the language, they actually speak proper Polish as we speak right now.
That's amazing. That's amazing, because I mean, I've got a whole list of people lined up so that we continue to share experiences and opportunities. And so it could be maybe similar to say if you're going to start in a non-English speaking country, definitely language, you got to do it, because they're thinking you could be useful in this country. So you got to speak. You could be a resource in this country, so you need to be able to speak. So I totally understand where they come from. So, Rachel, tell me something. When you were studying and doing everything that you were doing, I know in the diaspora, we work.
Yeah.
Is it doable for you to be studying in Poland and have a side job, and because it's not everybody who comes from a family that actually can afford to pay for them. So for other people, they'll have to make it work. How was it like for you?
Okay. When it comes to jobs, I think things changed over time because when we started in the city where I was, they didn't have like English speaking companies. But over the years, I think by the time I left, they'd actually established some English speaking companies and they were hiring students to work for those companies. And there were also online jobs for call centers. So if you were lucky, if you applied for those jobs, if you got it, some people were working for those call centers. I know a couple of people who were like managing call centers and were in school as well. But it was really like tough competition to get those jobs. And then for myself, because I like to explore, at one point there's something that's called Anglophile. So it's a group of people who like they organize sort of like camps and stuff like that, and then they recruit Polish students. Sometimes they recruit adults, and they go for those camps, and then you'll be like teaching those people English because they obviously struggle with English. So at some point, I got an opportunity to work with those people. At the first time when I applied with them, they told me they'd accepted me, and then they get back to me and said, "Oh, because of the passport you hold, you have to do 1 week of volunteering and stuff like that." And then I was just like, "What's wrong with going for the volunteering?" So I just went for it because they paid for my hotel, they were paying for my food, they paid for my transport. So I went for the voluntary work, and then after 2 weeks, they started calling me, and then they were paying me on top of paying for my hotels and my transport. So there is an opportunity to work. And then during vacations, wow, that one is a bit tricky because the jobs are hard. Factory jobs, farm
You,
jobs.
you, you know what, Rachel? One of the things that I love to say is, and to let our people back home know, is nothing is easy in the diaspora.
Nothing, absolutely.
Nothing is easy. It's very tough. It's not the things that we were used to, the way we are socialized and educated in Zimbabwe is to say, when you go to school, you have a nice office, nice job, and then there will be, all things being equal. But overseas, thanks so much for saying it, to say the jobs are hard. People really do work hard. People do put in the work.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, we cannot run away from it. And people have to know that, yes, you can be a student and work and make it work and actually like earn a living, a proper living. No wonder why on this platform, I love to stress the importance of professionalism. Some people could say, I don't need to be professional. I'm a student and I'll go to another country anyway. But that's how you build your work ethic. That's how you start knowing, okay, sometimes I'll have to do 5 shifts in a week. Sometimes I have to come from school, go to another job, or come from one job and, do something else again. So thanks for bringing that in.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. In that unit that you were in, were there that many Zimbabweans? Because one of the things, I will say it and I'll be honest and I'll share with you and I'll share with everyone, to say, for the longest of time, I kept thinking, I think the diaspora is not for me, because I was scared of being the only person in that place or in that country or in that community. So I know that there could be a lot of people they could, maximize on these opportunities, but then they're thinking, I can't go. Or there's a parent somewhere in Zimbabwe thinking, I would love for or my child to go to Poland as a pathway, maybe to Australia or America or Canada or the UK. But no, my child is so young, they can't survive. Is there a big community of Zimbabweans? Is there a stable community of Africans where people can actually socialize and, start off?
Yes, absolutely. There's a huge community there. I would call it University of Zimbabwe in Poland because there are a lot of people there, a lot of Zimbabweans, a few other nationalities, but I think Zimbabwean population is outweighing any other nationality there. So there a community. There's no, of course, there is homesickness because you're away from a family, but you always have that friend, you always have that sister around you.
I've just seen a comment where somebody says, "What about caregiver and nurse assistant jobs in Poland with sponsorship?"
Um, no idea at all about that one. I've actually never heard of anyone who've gone to Poland through that visa route, but I know the people who went there with sponsorship for factory jobs,
Mhm.
and one of them actually now switched and is now working for a call center company um, in the one of the big cities there. But when he went with a visa to work in a factory, which wasn't an easy job to do, but he had to endure until he found another opportunity
Right.
to.
So I'm counting on you. We need to speak to that person. We need to hear that person. We need people, do you know, if we are to be honest, if somebody is Zimbabwean, what they want at this point in time is to try somewhere else, is to try another country. Hard work, we are all working so hard. It doesn't matter whether you're in Poland or in Canada or in America or Australia, people are working hard. So they will go and work hard. And guys, it's something that we'll look into to see, or if we can actually have somebody that can come on the platform and share on the general worker route, because I know for Poland, people are going as students, people are going on the factory work thing is going on in Poland, and people are going as truck drivers as well. So we are hoping we have people that want to share those pathways. So, Rachel, I'll just ask this one quickly. How long was the nursing course for you?
It was 3 years. So I started in 2019 and then I finished in 2022.
So apparently, I think everywhere is just 3 years.
Yeah,
Nursing
that's
looks like nursing everywhere is 3 years because I know I've got a cousin who is in Germany. She's doing nursing. It's 3 years. Here in the UK, it's 3 years. So looks like the standard is 3 years, and then maybe when you want to add on, then it can get to whatever. So thank you so much for at least clarifying on that one. Nyasha, there's Nyasha in the comments. Is she on? She had said something. She said, "Thank you for sharing your journey, Rachel." Oh, Nyasha, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for supporting us all the time. And you know how important you are to us. Rachel, tell me something. People want to know. After studying, did you ever work in Poland as a nurse, or straight away you came to the UK? Just a quick answer.
No, I straight away came to the UK. That was the goal.
So, so you see, guys, when I say Rachel was just focused from day one, she knew what she wanted, and I think that's what a lot of people need. If you're coming to the diaspora by whichever route, you have to have a plan and you have to have your goals in sight, and you have to, to be so clear with your goals and what you want, and you begin to work on your goals from day one. And I think that's what you did, Rachel. Rachel, tell me something. Transitioning from you finished your uni in Poland. Obviously, you passed. You're brilliant. You're bright. Tell me something. The transition between Poland and the UK. What was it involved, and when did you start?
The transition in terms of environment or work related.
Not in terms of work. How did you get the UK job as a nurse?
Okay.
Because you said you never worked in Poland. Straight away, you went to the UK. How was it? How was the process? How long did it take you? And what were the requirements?
Okay, so my process was kind of like quick because I done my research on exactly what I needed to do. Like every step, I knew like from this point I'm going to this point. So my journey like to get my registration kind of like took like 3 weeks.
Wow.
So what happened was that soon after graduation, I made sure that I had all the required documents in place. So I graduated on a Friday, I guess, and then I got my certificate on Monday, and then straight away I went to the offices because our degrees were in Polish. So they were supposed to be translated into English, and then they were supposed to be verified by the nursing board in Poland, and then the nursing board in UK, they had to verify with them. So the requirement, which was one of the challenges most people first to get, was the English requirement because the nursing board here requires seven and above, except for writing, which they accept 6.5. So I made sure that by the time I graduated, I had my English done already. So what I did when I was in fifth semester, towards finishing fifth semester, I then sat for my English exam, and thank God I passed on the first attempt. So that allowed me to take away all the pressure, because I didn't want to be chasing that after graduating. You know what I mean? I didn't want to work under pressure. So by the time I graduated, that was all sorted. And then I started applying for the PIN and stuff. While this I was waiting for the PIN, I started also applying for jobs. And I applied a couple of hospitals, and most of them I got offers. I got 2 offers in London. I got an offer in Scotland. I got an offer in Guernsey. I got an offer in Birmingham. So I had a lot of offers. So I was now doing my selection to say, oh, where exactly do you want to be in? Anyway, I didn't mention where I am because, yeah, but I ended
No,
up
you're not.
coming
You're not
here.
mentioning. You're not mentioning. Then we have to
Yeah,
go.
but
You guys, if you want to know where she lives, go go and follow her. Go and follow her, and then you can have an idea of where she lives.
yeah, so I got a job in the, NHS trust that I'm working for. There were obviously reasons why I selected to come here. So as soon as I submitted my documents, I got my PIN, and then my employer gave me the COS, and then straight away I came to the UK. I think my process, like, until I came, just took 1 month and a half, like from the time I graduated, waiting for the PIN, getting the COS, and then eventually coming off.
Wow. There's somebody who raised a question. I'll just try and read that question. Evelyn Maitakundachi says, please summarize the process to work here in the UK. We hear that they're not taking nurses anymore.
Okay, it's not like they're not taking nurses anymore,
Thanks for
but
saying that. Thanks for saying that. It's the same way as somebody will ask. A lot of people do ask and say, Flo, people are not, the UK doesn't take caregivers anymore. They do.
yeah,
They do.
yeah.
But there's a bit of, you
There's
tell
a
us.
bit
You
of
tell us
slow.
about nurses.
Yeah, it's not like they're not taking nurses anymore, but like legal migration at the moment is just a difficult process that, a lot of people are struggling with. I don't know what the exact reasons are, but from my own understanding is that I think that from the time the pandemic started, and like now when there's a new government, there was massive recruitment of people from all different corners of the world. So talking about NHS, they are like fully staffed. And also, I think with the new government as well, I think they are trying to, do some changes. Well, if you go on the government website, you find all the information regarding that. But doesn't necessarily mean to say that you cannot come to the UK. The process is just slow in the meantime, and the hospitals are not recruiting. So if you know of employer that can recruit you, I think you can just apply, and you can even go on the like NHS Trust website. You apply direct on the NHS website. You mention that you are trained in Poland and you don't need to do OSCE, because most of the hospitals at the moment, they are restrained, they are struggling financially to train OSCE nurses and stuff like that. So you mention on your application that you don't require to sit for OSCE. You are in Poland already. You get your registration before you come to Poland. So that will give the employer information to say, oh, when this person comes over, we don't need to financially support her in this route of like going for OSCE exams. You just come over, and then they give you trainings and stuff, and then you get on the roll.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for bringing that insight and for at least, giving people a bit of hope. Because I know, do you know why I thought, well, I need to get Rachel to come here? there's a lot of people that came maybe be it on a COS and maybe they've got kids who are older, 18 and everything, and they couldn't have their kids over. So they're looking for means and ways to reunite as families, to reunite with kids and everything. And I do believe like maybe the Polish route is one of the, the routes that people can take. And one of the things that I want to mention is, guys, in as much as we may say that the NHS is not recruiting or is fully staffed, is people are fully staffed, people are leaving. If we check, a lot of nurses are leaving for Australia, a lot of nurses are leaving for the United States within the NHS. So that position where they've left needs to be filled. And if you checked, guys, I'm not going political, I'm not political, I'm not anything, but I listened to the new government when they were talking about their manifesto and everything. And one of the key things that they wanted to address is the NHS waiting list. But then there's no way they will address that without personnel.
Hold on a second.
It's all right. So that's one of the things that I wanted to say, guys, to say it doesn't mean if you train in Poland. One of the things, guys, that I wanted to say is it doesn't mean if you train to Poland, then you have to come to the UK. There's so many countries. You could go to Australia. If you're a nurse, you're on high demand. Australia is wanting nurses, New Zealand wanting nurses, Canada, America, everywhere people are looking for nurses. So it's not so close to, I'm still trying to get hold of somebody who went to a country that's different from the UK, coming from Poland, and then they'll come here and share their journey. Rachel, thanks for coming back. At least it wasn't anything. So guys, that was Rachel telling us how she transitioned from being Polish trained into the NHS. And one of the things that I actually mastered was the fact that if you do study in Poland, there's no need for you to write OSCE exams. So when you are applying, if you're a nurse or if you trained in Poland or you're finishing your training in Poland, start applying now and also mention that you're Polish trained and explain your circumstances. One of the things that I've realized when you're dealing with the NHS, it's not like well, depending on who you are talking to, some of the managers, because I was interviewed by my managers, right? I wasn't interviewed by recruitment. So some of these managers are not well versed with the whole international recruitment process. So you have to find a way of letting them know your circumstances and some of the hopes that you can actually skip. And then when they do forward your name to recruitment for finalization, then you know you're in. I don't know if it was the same situation with you, Rachel.
So what's the question again?
I was trying to say, when you apply and then you're scheduled for an interview, chances are you're interviewed by your manager directly and not people who handle recruitment as in the COS and everything. So you'll find that some managers, all they want is they want an employee, they want to fill in the vacancy. So it's up to you, the applicant, to actually explain your circumstances, to say, I would require sponsorship, but then I don't require to write OSCE exams and things like that. I can actually get my PIN while this time in Poland, things like that, things that can actually make the whole process easy.
Yes, basically it differed from NHS, like from the trust to trust. But the one I could think of is the current trust I'm working for. I wasn't interviewed by my manager. Anyway, I've changed was 3 times because I love exploring since I started. I wasn't, so I was interviewed by the people who manages the recruitment, but they were also managing other wards somewhere somehow, but they are involved in the recruitment process.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then so when I introduced myself, like when they asked me the question, tell us about yourself, I explained myself that I've trained in Poland, I've not worked before, I'm a newly graduate, and I would require a lot of support from you guys. And I've told them that I'm not going to sit for OSCE, so which takes away that gap of bridging from training internationally into, the work environment. So I did ask them questions like, how do you support newly qualified nurses? How do you also support international trained nurses? So they did reassure me, which is another reason why I actually chose the trust that I'm working for. There's another hospital in Guernsey. I liked it as well because they reassured me in a way that I was like, okay, should I go where I'm currently now, or should I go to Guernsey? Because they told me how they've supported other people. They've brought someone on the interview as well to like just walk me through their journey. So it's not like they just threw me on the drain. No, they reassured me before I started work. I think it's more or less the same with most of the hospitals,
Yeah.
especially if you're working in the NHS. I don't know how it is for the care homes because I've not worked in a care home.
Yeah. So one of the things is, well, I don't know, it's just me thinking. Do you know, I would say to people, when as you are looking for vacancies, as you're looking for things, looking for those rural locations. Nobody wants to work in the middle of nowhere where nothing happens. I know for a fact, I live in Cumbria. Try, if you're a nurse trained somewhere which is not Zimbabwe, because obviously we all know the issues in Zimbabwe, try to look for those trusts that are in there. And, I can't say rural because, nothing is rural in this country. But, those trusts, those hospitals which are, check the vacancies there. You could, stand a good chance. And also check Scotland at the minute, because nobody really, Scotland is just Scotland. But what we want at the end of the day is for people to find employment. So it could be different for someone. I've noticed when recruitment events happen, maybe someone like in Birmingham or in London, there will be like loads. Competition is just on another level because everybody wants to be in London, everybody wants to be in Birmingham, everyone wants to be in Manchester. So yeah, it could be worth noting to say decongest, go to those, towns, small towns, those trusts which are at the periphery of the country. You could stand a chance.
Yeah,
So yeah, so I don't know. I'll just try and run down in the comments and see
It's
if
actually there's actually something you mentioned about other places where you can go with a Polish degree.
Mhm.
I have a cousin. He trained in Poland. He graduated a year before me, and then he's been working in the UK for 3 years now. One now he's a band six, and then he just recently got his Australian registration. So UK is not the only destination for.
I love the fact that he also trained in Poland. I love the fact that these, because it's so expensive. I know everybody wants to be in this country, and I know a lot of people are thinking, can someone come on a student visa? Guys, life in the UK is expensive, and to train in the UK is so, so expensive. So it could be an option for somebody to just go to Poland, pick a nice, good degree, nursing, probably if you can, if you love it anyway, and then opportunities will just open for you. This is somebody, I mean, our cousin trained in Poland. Now they are on their way to Australia. And at the minute, nurses are just going to Australia. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. It will again go down to how people view things, how people see opportunities, and how people take opportunities, guys. But we are here to just at least give you a relatable experience to say, look at Rachel. She did all that. She left whatever that she trained for, left whatever, she had done in Zimbabwe and said, I'll start all over again. And after starting all over again, she said, well, I'll go again and start all over again. So a big shout out to you, and I salute you for the decisions that you continued to make, and that you continue to make. And I do wish you well in all that you do. Don't stop. Don't stop. We can't wait to see you band six, band seven, become a consultant, become a whatever, a practitioner. I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you to say, don't stop.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Thank you.
Because I mean, you've already done it before. So one of the things that I love to say is, if you studied when you were back home, you studied in Poland, it would be nice. It would be a flex when you say, okay, another degree for UK done. And then when you go to Canada, when you go to America, you got another one in another country just for flexing. Because I know you're intelligent. I know you're smart. I know, you know, God has got you, and you can only limit yourself. Just go for everything that you dream of, and we can't wait to continuously hear your stories And it's not, guys, it's not, this is not the last time we've had Rachel here. We will keep on bringing her because, I mean, we want to know a lot, and we do want to know a lot. So, Rachel, did you get your, well, you said you got your job and you got your sponsorship, obviously, whilst you were in Poland. Did you have to go back to Zimbabwe, or you never went to Zimbabwe, you just went straight from Poland to here after getting your?
Yeah,
Because a lot of people want to know, do I have to go back to Zimbabwe and then come from Zimbabwe to the UK? How was it like for you?
no, I didn't have to go to Zimbabwe. I came straight here to the UK. You don't need to go back to Zimbabwe.
So these are some of the questions that people do ask when we continuously talk and say you can come to the UK, right, as a caregiver. Because a lot of people are going like, I can't leave my family. People, you can come to the UK on a caregiver if you get the COS. And then because at the back of your mind, you want to reunite with your families, you want something different for yourself. And then from here, you go to a different country and you've just, I think you've just echoed the same sentiments to say, you didn't have to go back to Zimbabwe. Straight away, you just.
Yeah.
So I'll ask another question again. How was the immigration, well, the whole visa thing like? Did you have to go to the US embassy in sorry, the UK embassy in Poland for fingerprints and things like that? How was it like? Can you take us through that? Because a lot of people do miss out because they're just scared of trying. So how was it like getting your applying for your visa and obviously going for your fingerprints and stuff? How was it like?
Okay. So, yes, you did need to go to Visa Application Center. So in the city where I did study, we didn't have that visa application center, so I had to go to Warsaw, which is the capital city of Poland. And before you go there, when you select your visa appointment date, you choose the option to upload your documents, or you choose the option for the visa application center to upload the documents for you, and you have to pay a certain amount of money. But everything is self-explanatory. So I did apply my documents by myself. And then when I went to submit my passport and have my biometrics taken, just went in for like 10 to 15 minutes, and then the process was done. And they sent an email after a week to ask me to come and collect my passport with the visa.
You know, a lot of people are asking, and I'll just say, guys, go and follow Rachel on a platform so that she can decide whether or not she wants to share. Because people are asking which hospital, which trust can we apply. And I'm sure she will share with you on a platform where she's more comfortable, where she can, manage, all the politics, with work and things like that. But she, I, on another day, a different day, I'll tell you how I met Rachel and how, we came here. So that you understand the power of following the right people, following people with the rightful information that goes along with what you want and what your plan is for life. So Rachel, I'm just saying people want to know which trust to apply. So if you can help with that, but they'll have to follow you and come to your platform.
Yeah,
So guys,
there's
if
a
we follow
video.
Rachel.
There's a video that I made with that whole information regarding, looking for jobs at the moment. So if you go to my page, you find that information.
Wow. Guys, just to answer that, Rachel has got a video on that as well. Rachel, when we come off this live as well, just share, put the link in the comments so that other people can also see. There's a question where Managib said most NHS hospitals are saying they don't take nurses with no experience. I know they say that, but there's a vacance going on at the minute. There's supposed to be an event down south, I think somewhere in, those trusts in London, that region. They actually have got a recruitment event going this September for newly qualified nurses. So it depends, guys. Just be on the lookout. On one vacancy, they may say, because when they recruit nurses, it's not like they're recruiting nurses for everywhere. They are recruiting specifically for certain wards. So probably it's that ward in particular where they cannot take someone with no experience. I've said this time and again to say, even if you're a caregiver and you're applying for jobs, I don't think it's fair, or it's a brainer, unless you're the lucky one, for you to apply to maybe wards like maybe maternity ward, like cardiology, those specialist wards. they would definitely be wanting somebody within the trust, somebody with maybe who is on bank or somebody who has worked on other wards, so that it's easy for them to, grasp everything and get the ball rolling. So probably again, it's the same thing for nurses. You could try, those non-special uh, trusts or wards. I'll just quickly do a rundown of the questions again. Someone says, how possible is getting a job in the NHS from being a carer already in the UK? It's possible. Some kindly so I did a video. I I started off in domiciliary and now I work for the NHS. So I did a video on that. It's very easy. I did a video where I went through my own personal statement, that I used my own application and how I got into the NHS. So go and find that video and do watch it and do continue following us, guys. We are here to share about opportunities, to encourage one another, and to, you know, uh, you know, bring inspiration to our community. I'm just going through the comments, Rachel, so that if you can answer some of them. People are thanking you. People
I'll
already
just
like you.
add on to what you said.
Yeah.
For the NHS, my husband didn't have like experience working in UK in the care setting, but he got the job in the NHS.
Guys,
So it's about how you market yourself and how you write your statement and how strong your CV is.
Rachel, Rachel and Abanin, I'd love to have you both, and so that we can talk about, you know, other things. And guys, you've just heard Rachel saying her husband works in the NHS. And I know now that you've brought that up, I would love for you to just give people a bit of, because a lot of people go like, okay, it's not for men. Which department? You said he's a support worker. Support worker is more or less an equivalent of a caregiver. Tell people, because people want to know how is he managing and what is it that you do, because a lot of people are not, a lot of men, Zimbabwean or African men, do not want to go into the NHS, into care, into support work because of certain beliefs. Tell us in brief, what does Mamin do? What sort of healthcare job does he do?
So my husband works in the radiology department. He's working as an imaging support worker. So he works along with the radiographers, sonographers, and all those people with an opportunity to get a radiology apprenticeship in the near future.
That's lovely. You see what we said in the beginning to say, when you go to the diaspora, always have a plan. You're going, what you want to do in a year, what you want to do in 2 years, what you want to do in 5, what you want to do in 10, what you want to do in 20. That's how I think, more or less like how Varun would think and plan their things. Someone could be telling you, oh, my wedding is in 2027. And you go like,
Yeah.
2027. Someone will tell you, I've got a holiday booked for 2026. And you just go like, we're into 2024. So it's high time, us as a community, us as Africans, us as Zimbabweans, start thinking 3, 5, 10 years ahead, instead of just thinking, 5 hours from now, I want to be such and such. You don't even have a plan for tomorrow. So it's very important. Rachel, you said something about money. Tell us. Because a lot of people would want to know, okay, is in imaging, what? You are a nurse, you are familiar with all these words and things. Does his job involve any personal care at some point, unless it's an accident?
No, his job doesn't involve all that. Once in a while, it involves mobilizing patients, like sliding patients into, when they are going for MRI scans and stuff like that. But his job doesn't involve personal care. It's more like admin, but somehow it's a support work.
Yes. You see, the reason why I said, well, I'll ask Rachel why she's on. At the moment, I'm running a series where I am trying to conscientize people on some of the things that they go like, I can't do care because of. Some people have actually said to me, I can't do care. Care is not for men. I can't do care. There's too much personal care involved. And here you are, you're explaining to people to say, guys, there are different wards, but in each and every ward, definitely there is healthcare assistance. You just have to find something that resonate with you. You just have to find something that is for you. I'll just check the questions. People are pausing. Cynthia is saying, hi, Rachel. Besides Malta, they said, hi, Rachel. Besides Malta and UK, which other countries may you recommend to apply for newly qualified nurses? This is for you.
Sorry, let me read the question again. Besides Malta, okay. I recently heard that people are going to, what's the name of this country? It's running off my mind. But there's a country where people are going to, if I remember, I'll type in the comment section, it slipped off my mind. But Malta was the popular destination for the couple of months ago. Germany as well, I think you have to do the language. Or it's Finland. Yeah, I heard some people went to Finland, but I've not done a research. I'll do a research about it, how the process was for them. But yeah, Finland, I hear that people are going there.
Please do, Rachel. Please do, Rachel. Do the research. And guys, if you're thinking of nursing, if you're thinking of studying in Poland, go and follow Rachel. I always do recommend that you do follow people that resonate with your journey, resonate with your dreams. And then when you do follow, consume that knowledge. One of the things I love to say is, had it not been for Facebook, had it not been for social media, I wouldn't be in the UK. That time when this whole sponsorship thing was going, I used to literally just spend myself in Facebook, going on people's live and listening and consuming information. What information does is it makes you believe. It makes you want to try. It just makes you see possibilities. I was seeing videos of people just going to the airport, and every day I would tell myself, this will be me one day. So it's worth following. Go and follow Rachel. She will continue to share out. Rachel, don't stop sharing those opportunities. Don't stop inspiring the community. You're doing sterling great work. Thank you so much for that. There's a question in the comment. Somebody says, hey, Rachel, cost of living in Poland, accommodation, food, and transportation in summary. How much student can spend monthly on average?
Ooh, that question is like crucifying me on the cross. You know why? Because that question I've heard it like from people, and then when their relatives or kids go to Poland, they start saying, "Oh, this amount is not enough. Why did you tell my parents A, B, C, D?" Yeah, what I would
You know,
say,
you
it
know,
depends.
you know what, Rachel? You know what? I would want you to give us the bare minimum for somebody that is focused. Because obviously, budget for a 19-year-old who still wants to party, wants to club, wants to be visiting everywhere, every now and then, because this is Europe. We want to be very realistic and practical to say, can somebody survive maybe on 50 euros a month for food? We're not talking entertainment, we're not talking for clothes.
Mhm.
You know, we're just saying on food, the basics and rent. We want to talk about rent, we want to talk about food for somebody who is focused.
Okay. I'm not sure how prices have gone up in Poland at the moment, but at the time where I was there, I think speaking for myself, I was blessed enough to have three sponsors because I had siblings. So I was privileged enough to have like an excess amount of money, and I was privileged enough to live in one of the most expensive apartments. But talking about, I would average it to like maybe £400, including food and transport and accommodation together. But it might be different for someone else. I don't want to lie. And I've heard people saying they were surviving on less than that. So yeah, it just differs with the kind of lifestyle you live
I think
everywhere.
Thank you so much for saying that. And I would always want to say, a lot of people do ask us that. What I can say is, once you're in the diaspora, the first year can be difficult. The first year can be the year where you're sacrificing you're literally like, living on the bare minimum. And then as settle in and, find your comfort, now you know what to do, what jobs to find. Now you can actually do certain things like I do makeup, I do hair, I do nails. And then people are coming to you and giving you the business. And one of the things that I love about students is you always find a way of finding other sources of income. And if you're back home and you're thinking of going anywhere, which is not Zimbabwe, anywhere abroad, start learning things like plaiting hair, start learning things like doing makeup, start learning things like doing nails. A lot of people do struggle with that. I'm a mom in the UK. I've got 2 daughters. I literally had to learn to do hair when I got cheap because I can't pay £70, I can't pay £50 just for hair that lasts a month. So those are some of the different ways, isn't it? I don't know if that was happening when you were in Poland.
Yeah, some people were making money through like side hustle, and some people even got to a point where they were paying their own school fees, managing their
Wow.
finances. I've got a personal friend. She bought a family, a husband and 3 kids, and she and her husband were working, and they were not being sponsored anymore. So it just depends with how you plan your life, how committed you are, and setting your path straight to say, I came here to collect my degree. I will do whatever it takes to survive, and by whatever means, as long as you're not stealing, as long as you're not doing anything that I wouldn't do, um, you will manage. There's a way. Um,
Rachel, 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 you said something that it actually like slipped my mind. Rachel, when when you were in Poland, were there people that were bringing their spouses, be it a husband or be it a wife and children? Does the student visa for Poland allow people to do that?
No, unfortunately for Poland, they don't give the spousal visa, so they had to come through like work permits, and then the kids, yes, they were allowed to come as dependents, but for the spouse, no, you can't.
Okay. Because I know a lot of people we get following from a lot of people, and a lot of people at the minute are just so determined. People want to learn, people want to go for opportunities. But one of the questions that I get regularly asked is, will I be able to bring my husband? Will I be able to bring my children? So at least thanks so much for clarifying that the student visa for Poland does not allow for you to bring your dependents. But there's always a way, guys. Like we said, get on the ground, and once you're on the ground you get more information on how you can reconnect with family, how you can bring your family over. It just gets easier, um, especially when we get here. When once you get here, you begin to see things differently. You begin to find information that can work for your family even when they're still back home. So I don't know, Rachel, if there's anything that you feel you need to share with the audience here. You've been amazing, you've been lovely. I don't know if there's anything that you feel we can benefit from you.
There's a lady who mentioned that she graduated in July and she hasn't been able to get a job. Manawa Gibbs, something like that. What I can just say to you guys, don't just put your eggs in one basket. Explore, try other European countries. And like I said, I made a video about that. You never know. UK, they just open opportunities when, like, sometimes when you least expect it. So what you just do, have all your documents in one place and then start looking for a job somewhere, because if you're working in Malta, if you're working in Germany, Netherlands, Finland, wherever you are also getting experience. So by the time UK is going to open the opportunity, you have less competition because you have experience already. And besides, not even to talk about UK alone, because you're working, you have experience, you can sit for NCLEX, you get the confidence, you get, like, the knowledge to sit for much challenging exams that can take you to Canada, that can take you to Australia, rather than just sitting waiting to say, oh, I'm looking for an opportunity to go to the UK. So yeah, explore, make calls, write emails, research, ask people in different countries. People have the information, and I can always tell you that there is someone with the information. And don't be scared. Go on internet, research about hospitals in certain countries, ask their requirements, ask if they have English speaking hospitals, because in some countries they do actually have. English-speaking hospitals, and you never know where you can land yourself in. So,
Thank you so much, Rachel, for saying that. I love the fact that you said reach out to people. Don't be shy from asking. There's so many very helpful groups. Go on those groups and ask questions. Those groups that we are in, Zimbabwean in UK, big shout out to you. I always do post things. I always see very mind-opening questions, and there's always that feedback from people. People do try and answer. Join groups for Australia, join groups for Canada, join groups for America. Just be in there so that you get an insight, you get information on what's going on. And obviously, guys, it is my wish and my desire and my prayer every day that we have more people like Rachel here who want to share their story, who want to bring an insight into opportunities. And guys, let's just continue to follow people that share information on our journey and the things that we want for ourselves. I know we love to follow other things, we love to unwind and do other things, but guys, information is power, knowledge is power. Continue to follow people that can feed into your dream, feed into your goals. And guys, if you're on this platform, do go and follow Rachel, guys. There you will learn loads about nursing, loads about Poland, loads about opportunities in Europe, and loads about other things pertaining life. I do recommend go on the platform and go follow. Rachel, continue sharing on opportunities. One of the things that it does, besides you refreshing your knowledge and everything, it gives you a sense of service to the community to say, people are actually coming because of me. People are coming because of the information that I share. Obviously, not because we want to give ourselves credit, we do give God credit, but it's our contribution and our service to the community to say, I'll share information on how I came, just in case there's a young lady out there, there's a young man out there who would love to explore. And when you think of what people can do when they come abroad, they'll begin to look after their parents, look after their cousins. And we are families like that. That's how we are brought up as Africans. And there's nothing that gives me peace as when a lot of people are now starting to text me and say, Flo, I got my CYS. Thank you so much for sharing. Sometimes it's not about giving people links, but just telling someone, continue in that path, continue working hard. It's possible. One day it will, be your time. And when it eventually comes, you just go like, God, thank you.
yeah.
So, guys, it's been a pleasure having Rachel here. Do go and follow. Go and follow Rachel Denera on Facebook. I don't know if you have any handles. I'll just give you 1 minute, Rachel, to give a shout out to all your handles so that people can do go and follow.
So my Facebook is Rachel Denere, and then Instagram is Rachel Denere again, and then my TikTok is Ravimbai Denere.
Oh, lovely. Go and follow her. Go and follow her. Go and ask questions there. Even if it's a TikTok where she's showcasing herself when shopping, go and ask about nursing there. Go and say, Rachel, I've got a question. And whenever you go to a platform, ask that question, Rachel, what is that I can do? Rachel, I've just finished. Rachel, I've got an interview. Take me through this. And Rachel, I know we're going to have you not just once again, but continuously would love to have you all the time because it's been a pleasure and it's been so insightful, so educational, so encouraging, so positive. Thank you so much for being this graceful. Thank you so much for being this generous with the information in this day and age where we live and where people go like, I'm living my private life, but you chose to come and share with us. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. May God bless your family, and may God keep on opening more opportunities for you. Because why I love opportunities for you is because I know each and every opportunity that you have, it's a chance to share with us, a chance to share with our Zimbabwean community. Guys, I think we have said everything. Continue the conversation in the comments. I'll also keep on checking the comments, and if we need to if there's need, tell Rachel in the comments so that she can just come directly and answer those questions. But it's been a pleasure, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for all our followers, all those that watch this live. Continue to share this live. Continue to reflect on all the things that we share, all the things that we have. Guys, before we go, Rachel, I think I've got a guest coming this coming week. And be on the lookout for that, because I'm so excited for this one, because it's for our community. It's for us to reflect on. And I'll put out a poster. And guys, do show the same support as you've showed us today. It's amazing. It's brilliant. I love you, and may God bless you.
Okay,
It's
bye
bye from me. Bye. Thank you
bye.
so much. Bye.